Scientific Literature versus Evolution. 2. Scientist quote, "Natural selection is inadequate for macroevolution, mega-evolution, which requires multiple incremental changes that, individually, are not functionally more advanced." Dr. Brown and Dr. Hullender. In this video, we provide additional quotes and discuss concepts from the following scientific paper: Neo-Darwinism Must Mutate to Survive. Olen Brown, David Hullender, Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology, 172, 2022, pages 24 to 38. Evolution believers believe that naturalistic mega-evolution has been proved to be true, and that microevolution plus time gives us mega-evolution. However, there are many scientific papers that show that that is not the case. We have discussed several of these in our previous videos. Every one of our key conclusions in our various videos about the falsification of Neo-Darwinism for mega-evolution is now being presented by scientists and discussed in the scientific literature. Note, we provide quotes from scientists who, as far as we know, do believe in evolution. However, their research confirms that the core tenets of Neo-Darwinism have been falsified for any level above adaptation of a species within a genus or family. This means that random chance and natural selection cannot create the entire biosphere, and neither can any of the mechanisms in the modern synthesis or the extended synthesis. So, naturalistic mega-evolution is false. It is a car with no engine and no wheels. Scientist quote, "Natural selection is inadequate for macroevolution, mega-evolution, which requires multiple incremental changes that, individually, are not functionally more advanced." Dr. Brown and Dr. Hullender. My comment: this is consistent with what we have stated in several of our videos. Random chance and natural selection do work for microevolution, adaptation of species inside a genus or family. However, they do not have the ability to create higher taxa, kingdom, phylum, class, order, from lower species. So, they do not work for mega-evolution, single-cell to human evolution. Quote, "Survival of the fittest." This adequately explains many microevolutionary changes where, for example, a single mutation produces a significant result, and there are strong environmental selective forces. My comment: natural selection can explain microevolution, but not mega-evolution. Quote, "However, natural selection is inadequate for macroevolution, mega-evolution, which requires multiple incremental changes that individually are not functionally more advanced." My comment: this agrees with my comment above. Quote, "Therefore, with only selection of the fittest, biology is deficient mechanistically for most macroevolutionary changes." My comment: this is exactly what we have said in several videos. Natural selection cannot create completely new body plans and completely new higher taxa, kingdom, phylum, class, order. Quote, "Macroevolution, however, requires major changes necessitating multiple changes that logically most frequently occur in multiple genomes. Therefore, the concept survival of the fittest is inadequate to conserve individual changes in multiple genomes, where the individual changes generate no increased fitness." Quote, "The burden is too great for survival of the fittest to select evolutionary changes that accomplish all evolutionary novelty." Quote, "Thus, evolution lacks a sufficient mechanism for multifactorial selections because a process that looks forward is non-random, deterministic, or occurs by an unknown biological process is required." Quote, "Thus, survival of the fittest is illogical when proposed as adequate for selecting the origination of all complex, major, new body types and metabolic functions, because the multiple changes in multiple genomes that are required have intermediate stages without advantage. Selection would not reasonably occur, and disadvantage or death would logically prevail." Quote, "In addition to the necessity for non-existent fossil transitional forms, there are non-advantaged transitional metabolic types with incomplete processes. Example, less than 8 of the Krebs cycle enzymes, that arguably are not improvements, lack survival value, and would not meet any reasonable criterion of being fitter or fittest." Summary: these quotations from the scientific paper listed above are consistent with what we have said in several videos. Neo-Darwinism, random chance and natural selection, has been falsified for anything more than microevolution, adaptation of a species within a genus or family. This means that random chance and natural selection cannot create the entire biosphere, and neither can any of the mechanisms in the modern synthesis or the extended synthesis. So, naturalistic megaevolution is false. It is a car with no engine and no wheels. Thanks to Dr. Von Mancha for bringing this paper to our attention. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.